go wrong?
I'm pretty biased towards Manfield Knight. I'm a big
Same.
fan of Manfield Knight. That's like my map. It's been my free play map to go to for a while, but now that you can do like hoops and stuff, I'm just like, yeah, I don't even care anymore. I can just do whatever.
Exactly, but game number 1 is just about to get underway. Lots of pressure already from Dielit. Keeping it in the midfield for this first 10 seconds or so. I kind of expect G2 to feel out the team a little bit. Oh, a triple commit. Chicago luckily doesn't need to touch it there. JNAP's just getting a piece of that while Timon keeps pressuring. It'll be Zolhe and Chicago clashing. Moving to midfield. Ajax trying to set something up. Chicago was up for it, but JNAP's was there. You talked about him being a little quiet. That could be a way to get him started.
So far, good pressure coming out from DL. I like the fact that they're not afraid to go and bring that pressure over to G2. Don't want to be too respectful in their gameplay. Give them too many opportunities, too much space. As the shot comes across from Chicago, easily cleared out and quickly counterattack. Opportunity here for DL.
Ajax trying to set something up. Timon at center. Actually, that was a shot. Never mind. Chicago crediting with a save here. Ajax to Zolhe looking for a quick one. Needed to put some angle on that. JNAPS gets the clear. Decently fast-paced action here so far. Looks like G2 starting to figure Dielit out. Good demo here. Ajax. Rizzo had a 1v1 at Zolhe, of course, knocking it away. So JNAPS pops up here, looking for the double. If I do it, Chicago with the catch, 2-on-1. Bumps come out, but it doesn't work out for him in the end. JNAPS races back. Timon towards the net. Will be wide. That needed to go in, Lawler.
Yeah, it needs to go in. The other opportunity, though, from G2 as they push down the other way. They did have a shot coming across from Chicago, but unfortunately for them, JNAPS wasn't able to recover in time. He ended up blocking off his one angle, so had to dribble it into the other team. That's what's so smart about Chicago. And as a player that I consider probably top 5 in North America and a great addition to G2, is just all-around play, whether it be recovery, shooting, defense, whatever it is, he just never seems to really be out of place. Having a player like that on your team just opens up so many options. Unfortunately, it's his own team that closes the option as they find themselves back on defense.
Yeah, but Chicago is also, if he does find himself in kind of an awkward spot, he knows how to get out of there and get into an even better spot, as that's a great clear. Rizzo to Chicago, looking for Rizzo again. Timon reads it well, but JNAPS is right there on the pickup, going to high. Chicago? No, blocked out by Zolhe. Well done there by Zolhe. We hit halftime here. Pressure again. Rizzo will sneak one through Timon.
Right at the half-minute mark. Great way to do it. And again, Chicago just creating opportunities for his team. Does it in a multitude of ways. First gets the 50-50, then wins the challenge up top and gets a pass and a bump after. Doing it all. The reason why we talk about him, the reason why he's been such an asset for G2 is because of plays like that.
Okay, attacking that. Good move. Try to keep it away from G2, but a long clear sends it to their side. Timon looking for it. Rizzo shuts it down. Both Chicago and JNAPS are there, but Chicago finds the top shelf. Beautiful shot from mid.
I mean, that all goes across because of Rizzo. Already up on that side wall, he gets a placement. He actually wanted to put that off back wall, possibly go for a double touch, but he doesn't need to. He ends up getting underneath it way more than he would have expected, and it pops into midfield where he's got 2 teammates waiting. It just happens to be Chicago that's on the receiving end.
Is that
shot again coming across?
I wonder if that's why JNAPS popped up for it too, just because it was so quick, kind of a reactionary thing more than anything else. I almost called it a double, but
that's what Rocket League is, right?
Yeah.
It's just reactionary at this point. Kickoff's the only real set play, but as stuff starts to develop, it's, okay, where am I? Who can get to it first? Okay, I'm going to go for it. That's Rocket League in a nutshell. And it sounds oversimplified, but it makes it a little bit easier to understand as a demo from Ajax. What a play.
Beautifully done here. Ajax moving up when he realized Timon was going to have some control. Chicago missing on the challenge as Timon just pops up. Great pitch awareness there by Timon, realizing that he's going to be challenged to pop that one up. And they finally get on the board. Dielit looking pretty good right now. Carry a little bit of momentum here. Double on the defense. Zolhe looking to challenge this, but Chicago barely sneaks it past him. Timon pop up here. Zolhe is up, looking for the shot. Rizzo, oh, block. This is dangerous. Ajax trying to tie it up. That's blocked again by Rizzo, credited. It took 2 to block it out. It's just fine as JNAPS, a rare feels backflip. That's right, even the pros do it, guys. Don't worry. You're not the only one. Oh,
Nice
shot!
saves,
Solheim,
back
it's
to
off
back.
the top bar.
Oh no, that's all 3 commit. It could be a counterattack opportunity, and he gets away with it. The difficulty of applying that much offense, they're trying to get something out. But all it takes is that slight hesitation from Ajax. He comes across, no one's there, he goes home. And when you think the DL is getting close, finally he's closing that lead, it doesn't matter. Left to play as Ajax wins that in the midfield. It's going to go the other way. A wide open net for Timon. Back within 1.
And I like this from Ajax. He didn't really go for the boost here. He just went for kind of just reading the play. Timon realizing exactly what's going on. Cheats up to make sure that Chicago can't get a touch on it. Well played here by DL. I like the tenacity here. They're definitely not giving up here. And with a minute left, they can easily tie this up. Well, I can't say easily, but they could tie it up. Timon off of the ceiling, looking to get a play going. Ajax on the triple, just keeping it alive. Timon looking for the shot. It's off the crossbar again. That's 3. Realizing that we need to speed things up. Luckily in this play, Timon was back. Ajax just challenged it, shut it down. Rizzo shot over Timon. Timon committing on that a little early. I think he should have moved back to net.
Still a great horizontal play from JNaps. Rather than trying to move downfield where there's a player, he checks to the ball, making sure to meet it, and then plays it back horizontally into the midfield. It completely catches that defense off guard and makes a good shot at the top of the net for his teammate. Something that G2 does so well. Not only do they work the field, but they get to it first. Get themselves back up by 2 with 30 seconds left. Ball going in favor of DL as they're back on the offense. Which shouldn't be a problem for G2 as rotation back in net. Chicago is there. Can he get another one? He does get a piece of it, but it ends up popping over to JNaps, who should be able to control this and get it out.
And that's exactly what they're going to do here. Just control it, knock the time down. 2-goal lead is enough here, especially with this little bit of time left here. Rizzo slowing the play. Just kind of getting underneath it for the chip. Over to Chicago, right back in. It's actually kind of a flourished play, but it worked out okay.
Yeah, just really good control coming out from Rizzo. Multitude of touches following one after another. Traps the ball on his own. That delayed touch initially gives him that space. He then plays it to the side and realizes, I can't shoot from here facing this way, and just gives it to his teammates. So really well done by Rizzo. Probably my favorite thing about the changes of the roster for G2, now that Kronovi's gone, Rizzo's up on offense rather than staying back on defense. His creativity is something that I've always been a massive fan on. And you see it come to life here. 5-2 in game number 1, G2 making their name known.
And you mentioned JNaps staying back. He did stay back quite a bit on that. And I wonder if it's just because he's so good at reading plays, just kind of in general. So he's kind of wants to play that anchor sort of position. That's the way it sort of felt like here. And when a play developed, he was able to pounce on it almost immediately.
Yeah, hat trick coming out from Rizzo, though, in game number 1. Interested to see if that can continue. Something that this team has done very well is split the roles evenly. Just seems to be that everybody can fit into every position. But it's up to DL's chance to kind of respond. Obviously, with these being a best of 5, they have 2 chances to technically do that. Most likely to see it in game 3, but they can come out like they did earlier in game number 1. A lot of aggression, meet it at the midfield. Good follow-up like that. They should find themselves healthy.
Rizzo's going to take this one off the backboard. Ajax does go up to challenge. They'll hit also challenge. It's 1-2-on-1. Timon nice there. Ajax with the pop-up. Off the ceiling. A little awkward, but JNaps was back, so Ajax looking for Solheim. Solheim had to wheel it around. Couldn't really put the speed on it here. Chicago stops that momentum at all. I'm not grabbing boost. Kind of awkward there. Rizzo looking for the double. Twirling up and down and in.
You can just see the difference in confidence coming out from G2. The ability to have only one player back and having everybody else outfield ready to attack just gives them so many chances. But when you have a player that can make an individual play like that, it doesn't even matter. Rizzo smashes it down. We're only 32 seconds in. G2 again, first on the board.
Rizzo playing with a lot of confidence tonight. It's something else that's kind of sort of been lacking a little bit. Is Timon looking for a shot. G2 looking to get back on offense. Rizzo playing with all that confidence that he's been showing lately. I think it just manifested itself in just those 2 shots. Oh, what a challenge here. Chicago gets the 50.
Not only the 50, but he gets a boost tonight before that. He's so speedy. Coming across, steals a boost from one in the corner, which makes him slow to the ball there. And then he's just like, yeah, I'm going to half rotate. Just turns right back around and challenges it again.
Yeah, might as well since you're there. As Chicago will be labeled the speedy boy, at least for this match. JNap's getting a shot through. It'll be Timon to try to clear this one. Zolhe, good awareness there from Zolhe to pop that one up and force the G2 offense to back off a little bit. JNap's looking for a touch. Not going to work. Ajax clear. Zolhe needs to pop up here. Rizzo shuts it down. Ajax to cover. Chicago is there near post. Timon trying to sneak one through, and JNap's with a good read, but nobody there for DL. As it bounces off the ceiling, this is dangerous. Zolhe looking for the pass to Ajax. Speed play.
Great play, even better setup. Watch the way that he challenges it. So he gets the 50-50 on the sidewall and immediately met by Zolhe, and that's really the only way that you can see this DL team actually get plays accomplished. They have to beat them to the ball. They have to dictate that pace, because the one thing that is most frustrating about G2 that's still persistent, even with the addition of Chicago, is their defense has been extremely frustrating. There's been numerous attempts where shots have come across from DL, but for most times they're saved. If they have that third follow-up, it goes in. This time they do, and it pays off.
It kind of seemed to me that G2 was scrambling just a touch there on defense. Maybe just a perception thing. Double commit there. Right towards the end.
It's definitely a reactionary thing. That first initial challenge on that sidewall on the right kind of led to everything as Chicago gets to it first. Can he get it again? No, it doesn't matter. Rizzo's there for the follow-up. Just one after another. They know they just got scored on and they need to respond back. I just didn't expect it to be so soon.
I like this right here. Rizzo just on the half rotate, decides not to go back, gets the cover, realizing the ball's not flying around. Might as well cover it as much as possible. And with nobody there, he's able to push that one through. And just under 3 minutes left in this. They've already scored 3 goals. Rizzo off a kickoff. Runs out of boost, and he's going to back off on this as Chicago sets up for JNap's. Timon is right there, knocks it to the corner, but Chicago following the play. Excellent read here towards the net. Zolhe not expecting that at all, and it's a 3-goal lead.
He wasn't expecting it, and neither was I. Just a great touch, kind of reminiscent from the Turbo goal at the Season 5 World Championship. Ball goes up the wall, it's controlled well, and then just put far post. Good control coming out from Chicago to spread that lead by 3. Still halfway through game number 2 as G2 looks like they're commanding this lead. Ball played back into the middle, should be stopped by Timon. Dangerous to play that back across rather than carrying it with momentum. That works out in their favor. Maybe not, as Chicago's the first one to get to the ball. It goes back in the midfield, shot over by JNap's. You see Rizzo chasing it down.
Oh, a double. Oh my God, a triple demo. Chicago going ham. Timon a great challenge here. I think more than anything, speaking of Timon, playing a little bit hesitant. Can't do that at all at this level. You need to go and make your shot. A beautiful touch here by Zolhe to send that one away. Possible setup here. Timon is up, looking for it. Tries to carry it through, but JNap's reads it well. Super patient on the ground. This one is sent all the way down. Ajax gets there just in time. Sigh of relief for Ajax.
You just see the pressure coming out from JNap's as well. As soon as that ball's transferred downfield, he's like, okay, I can't get corner boost. I can't go for the shot. I'm going to go for you. Immediately starts to challenge the other player, forcing him out of position. Just little things like that. Just the freedom to kind of have their way with the other team. You see JNap's trying to go for a fake. Tries to get the 50-50. Saved and pushed out by Timon, but the pressure is not over yet. As Chicago launches the pass over the side. Rizzo not in a position to play it back across. Still handled well at the midfield. Devil coming out. Change of possession over to DL.
Again, they just give it up here. Chicago reading the play. It's always been able to do is just replay. No matter what the other team is doing, it seems to be in the perfect position at all times to challenge this as Rizzo pops up for this. Zolhe reading it. Ajax gets the send away. Not much of a follow-up here as Timon was on the other side of the pitch. But DL has not been able to really chip into this lead as Rizzo sends one down. Ajax, again, a little out of position. I think he was searching for boost on that play. Yes, he was.
Yeah, looking for boost, just out of position. Rizzo just breaks 2 over the top. Also, breaking news, my hot chocolate is now drinkable. I know chat really wanted to know that, but it is delicious, and I'm not sharing.
Yeah.
And they're up by 4, guys. What do you want me to say? Like,
It's beautiful.
G2's winning. Who would you guess?
At least you didn't forget about it like you were saying you're gonna do.
Oh god, no. My hand's been hovering it the whole time, and when it stopped getting all steamy and like clammy, I'm like, all right, it's time.
It's time. Take that beautiful first sip.
I mean, if you want some hot chocolate ASMR, I can hit you up, but
You know what?
I feel like we should focus on the Alpha Boost sound instead, you know?
Yeah, oh, that's beautiful. Timon. Oh man. The accuracy of DL has been plaguing them pretty much all game as well, all match. As time begins to wind down, little pass play here. Yeah, indeed.
Looking clean. Fortunately for Ajax, just nobody there. And for Zol, like, you just watch his positioning on that. And I understand he wants to go and challenge and relieve some of that pressure, but by cutting in that sharp, he's now taking himself out of position. And he can't challenge anyway, because if he does, it's going to pinch towards his own net. He needs to come around wide and attack head on, making sure that he's between himself and the net to give themselves a better chance. Unfortunately, not going to do it there, as G2 takes game number 2, putting themselves at match point.
So you think DL is kind of rushing touches a little too much? They're trying to cut off instead of actually being in position, and in essence, not being patient enough.
It's definitely a factor of, and this is going to be a big rant, so bear with me. But it's a big factor of these teams that aren't quite RLRS or RLCS, or, you know, they're the bubble teams, as we refer to them, right? Where
yeah.
When you go up against a team that is definitely, and in this case, I think a lot of us agree that G2 is solidified as a top 3 in North America right now. Like, they're a shoo-in for LAN for Season 7. And the reason why they are that 0.001% of players is because of the little things. How fast they get to the ball, the boost control. Anytime I've played against a pro or a pro team, I never have enough boost. It's always gone. And it's the most infuriating thing in the world. And you can already see that affecting DL. The times that they're sitting over on the right in that back corner and aren't able to get back for an open net because they don't have any boost. Coming in and forcing a challenge because they're under pressure and they're panicking rather than staying calm and collected and trying to make the right rotation. So there's a lot of factors that it plays into, but in reality, it's just so much overwhelming presence coming from G2 that is in addition to all these tiny little minute details that they do perfectly. It's overwhelming. It really sucks to play against. I've done it. It's not fun, but you learn from it. And that's, as bad as it is to say, like, G2 to me is an easy guarantee win for this. And that's obviously preemptive, but to really show like an overarching picture of it, it's a great learning experience. And I hope they can at least get something out of it, because the moments are there, right? We've seen the good class plays. We've seen the follow-up. It's just, can they do that for a full 5 minutes? As of right now, no, I haven't seen it.
No, they really haven't been able to. I mean, they're there. There's obviously some rush, but I mean, patience on defense, a couple of things, you know, like you mentioned, the boost control. But even G2 is even taking the pennies. Like, they're going kind of ham on the boost control. I mean, it's working out for him. His Timon can't quite pop up in time for that. There was some challenge on that as Chicago sends it away. Zolhe running back. Seeing a little bit more offense from DL. Oh, Rizzo gets the touch from offside the ball. Beautiful shot.
I mean, big shout out to G2 on offense here. Notice how nobody challenges that. JNaps is preemptively on the wall when that ball is going up in the corner, but he doesn't go for it for 2 reasons. One, even if it pinches, it's going to kill into that corner. It's not an attacking opportunity. 2, it's a waste of boost. So he waits for the play to develop. He makes the player come out of net, come towards him, and then he challenges. And then all Chicago has to do is play patient, and he puts a shot on target. Really well done by G2, showing them why they're the best of the best.
Timon up for this out of the corner. Accuracy issues still flanking him right now. Nice little pop up here by Zol. Ajax was right there, but Timon cut rotation, so they have to race back and get reset. Timon looking for Ajax. Rizzo reads it well. Chicago is still up. Challenged by Zolhe, sends it away. And JNaps looking for Chicago. No, he just kind of sends it on down Main Street. Rizzo, bullet! Catches it out, but Rizzo right back in there, and Ajax, nice long clear here.
Great soft touch by Chicago. Allows him to control it afterwards, too, even though he hits backboard. Difficulty, though, the fact that he can get there in time. For some reason, a lot of the times you're finding DL out of position. Look at the amount of times on defense that they're actually not facing towards the ball. A lot of the times they're either spent retreating or going the other way. And even with the double commit here, can the follow-up come through? No! Oh, you have to hit those, Ajax. That was your opportunity.
That was huge. Ajax had a chance to prove DL against G2 and tie this one up. But they're going to have to work for it again. Plenty of time, though. Just under 3 minutes. JNAPS pops straight up for this. Nice little 50 in the air. Zolhe looking for Timon. Timon possibly looking for Ajax, but Ajax has to retreat. There's nobody back. Tons of pressure. Oh, a huge bump, and Zolhe rolls one in.
Finding difficulty in the offense. Got to make those opportunities yourself. The follow-up is there, and unfortunately for Rizzo, he wants that pinch to go a little bit further to the right. I think he was trying to pinch it on the ground. Unfortunately, he doesn't get down in time. Ends up centering, plus the bump of Timon. That's how most of their goals have come through. Let's see if they can repeat that. Either way, they tied up here. 2:40 left in game number 3. They are on match point for G2. They win this one, they move on to the grand final and a chance of $1,500.
Oh my God. Filthy.
Yeah, that's G2. That's G2 for you.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's just beautiful. Again, using the wheels of the car to slow the ball down, set up for Rizzo. Rizzo obviously let them know that he was coming in. There was a goalie there, but that was going to be tough to read, especially with Chicago still twirling. You're not quite sure exactly what's going to happen or where the ball is going to touch on the car. You don't know if it's going to be a bullet or if it's going to just die out. And it was a die out that time as Ajax trying to pop this one around for Timon. Zolhe needs to come in. Timon looking, but Chicago comes out of net, perfectly placed there. JNAPS looking, oh, big bump there by Chicago. Weak touch, JNAPS. You get on top of the ball, knock it away. Pretty close game all around though. I have seen the blue side quite a bit. But possible chance here, no. G2 gets immediately back organized and right back in the I formation as Rizzo bullet towards the top corner. Jeez.
Makes it so dangerous, man. You go from pass plays using verticality off the ceiling to a solo play downfield with a shot right on the money top right.
71
just another
miles
thing you
an
have
hour.
to watch out for, man. The last one was a pass play off the ceiling, and then that one just Rizzo playing aggressive down the sideline.
Straight laser. Good lord. Possible here. Chicago rotating back with Timon out of the corner. Ajax read it well, but so did Rizzo. Lots of patience on the G2 end.
Another one.
Oh my God, that's filthy again.
Oh, JNAPS with a dunk, making it look easy, but it all starts again with Rizzo's clear. Not only does he get power on it, but he plays it outside. That's what I was talking about on the defense. They're all pushed up so far, but Timon's retreating, grabbing the boost. If he was facing the other way, if he was already in net and moving towards the ball, that 50-50 isn't going to have the same reaction. And again, they find themselves down by 3. Seems to be the position, getting outpaced, finding a way to make sure that they're challenging with the ball rather than against it. Seems to be the problem for them as the ball played back, read by Chicago. Rizzo should be there, wide open net, now up by 4. G2 making it look easy.
Yeah, well, they're also realizing that there is a huge triple commit going on here. DL realizing they need to apply all the pressure that they can on the offensive end. But in doing so, they're moving players past the midline. Nobody is ready to get back. They're trying to put together these pass plays, but G2 is going to read those. You got to start changing things up, much like G2 has been doing pretty much all series now. And we had also mentioned that JNAPS, as he takes a shot, JNAPS wasn't really available for a lot of plays. Now it's just straight out 3 players contributing in all factors, like you talked about earlier. As this is just unfortunate.
I mean, like you said, it's when you're down by that many, you start to go for things that you normally shouldn't. And you can see it. It's just I don't know if it's a lack of communication or what's going on, where there's a player, and rather than supporting him in a game that you're being beat to the ball, rather than playing this offensive heavy, you need to support it, play a little bit more passive. And even though you can't wait for the play to develop, you still need to put yourself in a spot where you can get there in time. As a shot comes across, a little bit of laziness coming from G2 being up by 5.
Yeah, just a bit. Timon,
yeah, you see JNAPS there. He's just like, yeah, whatever, okay, fine. Got 4 extra lives in the back pocket still. I think he's just trying to stop the Brazil chat spam. He's just like, yeah, just be done with it, please. Dead meme.
Dead meme indeed. That's all right. As U2 now getting a little bit of defensive practice in, but again on the clearance, it'll be Chicago looking for some speed. And again, DL find themselves in very awkward positions, have to try to reorganize themselves. And
G2, what are you doing?
that'll work.
I don't know if you saw that. So Rizzo's in the corner. He hit it like 40 times. Still gets a pass across. And JNaps was already pre-jumping for it the whole time. Like, he was already up for it, trying to be like, yeah, you see me. We'll get away with it, though. Good to see these guys still having some fun.
Yeah. I think it's fair to say that DL's got a lot to take away from this. They had a rough series, but we kind of expected that going into this. And these guys have been playing together for quite a while. So I think there'd be some team synergy there. But, I mean, you're going up against pros, full-blown pros. And this would be the one to save replays on. This is like the dream scrim for DL.
Yeah, it really shows the difference in level between two teams. G2, I think the biggest asset that they had there was they kept mixing it up, and we talked about it a little bit about how they went from pass plays, whether it be vertically infield from the corner or whatever it was, to a couple solo plays and individual plays coming out from Rizzo primarily. Rizzo had a really good series, both with double touches as well as just a good challenge and then upfield to far post. So we talk about on offense the ability to change it up and create opportunities, and one way of doing that, rather than just playing bumps and demos, is to keep the defense guessing. And they did that, with a multitude of different types of shots as well as individual solo plays, which opened up opportunities. For me, it's like we saw a team that played really well, and I didn't say JNaps's name more than 5 times, I think, which is a scary thing to think about. The fact that the offense is still that threatening, and JNaps is also not involved in that. Like, there's so much potential for that team.
We touched on that a little bit earlier, too. Just kind of how JNaps is sort of hanging back, but still right there threatening, just in case a play opens up. And I kind of like the dynamic, though. It's working for him, at least so far. And I guess when JNaps realizes he needs to get involved, he just goes. And kind of working well for him. Maybe there's a little bit of hesitancy there because Chicago is so fast compared to what they were used to, and still kind of finding that groove that works for them. I mean, this is the place to do it, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's always exciting to see the play styles develop as time goes on. Obviously, with the RLCS being in just a little bit over a month here, we're going to see a whole lot of that more. But seeing it today, G2 obviously moves on to the grand finals in this $2,000 prize pool, guaranteeing themselves at least $500 of that. So congrats to them. But we're going to be moving on to the next semifinals here, just a bit between the Peeps and Continuum. I assume that's just typed incorrectly, maybe? Nope, it's just got 2 M's at the end. Continuum.
That's how
it's like the Pam Pan dilemma with the silent letter,
Yeah, no, that's a good point. Explosive Gyro, Arsenal, Reddles, Rapid, Aeon, Astra, some Beyond regulars about to grace your screens. We'll be right back. Welcome back in, everyone. The Astronauts 3v3 tournament, powered by Team Beyond, is back. I'm Ninja Rider. In case you missed the last series, Lawler's here too.
Surprise. Here.
Surprise.
And out of hot chocolate now. I'm so sad.
You're at, aw,
it's gone.
I need some F's in the chat, if you don't mind.
Feels bad, man. Well,
that's okay.
Even though that is gone, at least we've got more Rocket League for everybody.
Yes.
The worst part, too, is because they haven't heard it yet. Everybody just says PogChamp, and it just makes me feel even more. You're like, yeah, it's gone. Suck it, Lawler. It's like, oh, thanks, guys. Appreciate you. But coming up, peeps, continue. Explosive Gyro, Arsenal, Reddles, Rapid, Aeon, and Astro. A lot of names if you guys come to these Beyond tournaments that should be extremely familiar to you. A couple of these guys, obviously, in the top 10 for the lead award. So exciting stuff for them. Their last match, they played Plot Twist, another team that's kind of up and coming. That's been kind of on the hot seat as of late. They ended up winning. I'm not sure exactly what the series score. Oh, it's 3-1. So it was
3-1.
It was a very commendable lead for them. So well done in their best of 5, coming in hot. But the peeps,
they have some. Continuum has some 1v1 prowess, let's say. So I'm sure that we'll be seeing a lot of those types of plays, but I know that they have been working on some past plays. We've seen them play together before. Last month had an excellent run and looked pretty good. And obviously, I'm sure that they have been working on their stuff. And of course, the peeps. I mean, you can't go wrong with the peeps. Explosive Gyro, Arsenal, Reddles. Reddles with the 1v1 experience. Explosive Gyro with a ton of 3v3. Arsenal, an absolute bomb of a player. He's so good. Oh man, I can't pick anyone for this particular matchup. It's that close, at least in my head, theoretically.
Yeah, the hardest thing I think about that team for me is the fact that it's Gyro, not Euro, and it's only Gyro because people kept saying it wrong for a long time. He's just like, yeah, forget it, fine. So if I say it correctly but wrong throughout the series, I apologize.
As in the Grecian food.
Yeah, it's
Hero.
It's Euro. Like
I can't
Euro,
even say it right.
Yeah. Either way, peeps are a solid team. That's all that needs to be said. They've impressed quite a bit as of late. I'm trying to think of their recent results.
Recent results: Renegade Cup Finals. They went down.
Yeah, they were in third, and they lost to Sway. Yeah, and then before that, obviously they won. Like they 3-0'd Compadres, which is ironic because Compadres is actually it was just the name change. God, someone was saying it in chat.
Oh, Avocados?
That remind me. Yeah, it's literally their old name.
No,
I forget who it was. It's literally who the Compadres
we were talking about it. We were talking about it a little bit earlier, and it was saying that they joined as Avocados.
Yeah, Astro, Aeon, and Rapid.
Mm-hmm. So
is it a rematch?
Probably get this game underway.
Yeah,
I think
it's
the players
just a rematch. It's a rematch between these guys. This is a rematch of the all-platform tournament for NA where they won 3-0.
All right, rematch is just about to get underway. 5 minutes.
Like I'm trying to think. I'm like, so many name changes and roster changes and stuff going on right now. I'm just like, wait, is my brain playing tricks on me, or am I reading this right? Turns out it's both.
I was going to say a little bit of both.
Yeah. Send help, please. I'm out of hot chocolate. I'm losing it. What to do?
F's in the chat for Lawler's mind. Kickoff underway. Here we go. Game 1, another best of 5 to figure out who goes into the finals to take on G2. Yeah, I'm trying to close this down for Rapid. Rapid picks it up out of the corner. Reddles is right there. Back and forth action here in the first 15 seconds. Reddles looking for Arsenal. Arsenal had to slow up on the play. Now they're a little bit grouped up in the midfield as Arsenal goes up for it. Nice block by Aeon, who played the block instead of the ball. Astro coming out of net. Arsenal can't get there in time. Advances the ball, but Reddles is right there, so right back onto offense and to challenge. Rapid is right there, sends it to the corner. Beautiful touch to send it away. And the demo on Gyro is not going to help a whole lot, although they won't be able to follow up on this, and Astro sends it away.
Good pressures there, but unfortunately nothing comes from it. A lot of it just because as soon as they read it on the side and deny the clear, It's put immediately back on target. There's no real control with it. No real follow-up. So the fact that Arsenal's now trying to go for a couple demos there, and I don't exactly know what is happening. Like, play the... That was weird. He backed off the touch, went for a bump, but there was no follow-up, so it just looked really awkward as a dunk comes out from Aeon. Good read. It's about time one broke through. Well done by Continuum.
Yeah, great patience here by Continuum. Just hanging out in their crease, making sure that they can defend the net well. And defend it well they did as the Peeps way out of position. Also not quite sure what Arsenal was up to. I don't know if they're trying to get into Continuum's head. Trying to play the mind game a little bit. It's definitely possible. Arsenal, speaking of which, Rapid blocks it away. Reddles is right there, can't quite find the angle. Arsenal just keeping it alive here. Set up for Reddles. No, Reddles gets popped up on by his own teammate here as Aeon comes through. There was a slight pinch there with Astro, and they send it away. Rapid, oh, beautifully played by Rapid. Reddles does send it to the other side, so Astro on the pickup. All three of the Peeps on the defensive end. Rapid dodging a block from Gyro. Gyro getting in Aeon's face. Aeon able to recover well. Blocks away Arsenal's shot. Back and forth action on both. I can't even say that. Really, the ball's just kind of been on Continuum's side, but Continuum coming through on a nice breakaway play. Oh, Reddles, quick pass to Arsenal, right back to Reddles. Bullet, no, doesn't quite come through. Arsenal, stopped by Astro. Somebody call Michael Bay.
Good shot and even better pass attempt. Finding each other, and that's what you want up in offense. For a team that's been having difficulty trying to go for the direct option, they finally start passing it. It opens up options there. Difficulty, though, as the save still happens, but finally they manage to sneak one through. It's a good pass by Reddles. He gets the initial touch and then follows it through as well. He completely draws out Astro and forces another player, I think it was Aeon, to come across. Yeah. They're trying to make up for that save, but it doesn't matter. He's there first. He plays it across. Well done by the Peeps to tie him back up.
Much more organized play from the Peeps. Thought they were a little bit disorganized, but maybe it's just organized chaos, and that's what they're calling for. But once that timer hit about half-time, started to really make a push to a more traditional rotation, if you will. Astro trying to set this up for Rapid. Rapid is there. Aeon was up. That ball did not fall down for him at all. A little bit of a chase here on Aeon's part. And finally gets back into position as Rapid tries to grab some boost. It'll be Astro up. Arsenal looking for Reddles. Reddles completely unchallenged at the line. Can't quite do it. And a couple of 1v1 astronauts duke it out in the orange side. Arsenal looking for a shot, and off the backboard sends it away. Rapid is up. He got bumped by Arsenal. Can open up the play here for the Peeps as Gyro is up. Arsenal could have a shot here as Rapid, the excellent ball control that he has, able to send it on high of his net. Beautifully done, but still pressure. A bullet. Astro, a beautiful save.
Continuum's applying a lot of effort into getting bumps and demos out. And it's definitely delaying the offense that's coming from the Peeps, but unfortunately there's no follow-up to back it up. So they just find themselves back on defense without boost. They haven't been able to make anything from it as an easy save for Reddles. Pops it out in the midfield, but read by Aeon. He puts it right back down. Matter of can they do anything with it. Rapid challenges, the 50-50 is there, but there's no follow-up, no teammate to be found in sight as Aeon comes flying across, puts a shot top left. Saved well by Reddles as it pinches back inside and immediately cleared the other way. Offense now for the Peeps. Save comes across and a big counterattack.
And we're going around the world here. We can do it again. No, Aeon stops the rotation as Astro comes through. Rapid not back, sensing that there's going to be another opportunity. Arsenal can't get the touch he's looking for, but he stays with it. Beautiful boost control. Make sure the ball does not fall in front of his net as Astro wraps it around the corner. Be Gyro to stop it. Aeon grabs some... well, never mind. He actually lets that go. Arsenal out of the corner. He's trying to set something up for his teammates. Reddles is lurking. Shot not wide enough. Astro on the breakaway, trying to break this tie. One-on-one. Astro. Gyro. Gyro shuts it off. Rapid not in position. Reddles realizing what's going on. Shoots it in!
What a play from Reddles and the effort coming out. You see Astro's trying to deny that last defender. He plays it slow, but you have to flick that up and set it up for your teammate. You need to remove him from net. He gets challenged. It pops up, and Reddles immediately turns on it. with only 3 seconds remaining. The Peeps up by 1. But don't count him out yet as 1 goes up. No, Arsenal has other plans. He stomps it down, but it's still in the air. Peeps just need to kill this, and they do exactly that. No, it's still alive. I spoke too soon. The Peeps sneak away with game number 1. But due to massive effort at the midfield, and you can tell they're enjoying it quite a bit in that celebration.
Now, the Peeps just had ball control that whole time. They pretty much controlled the pace of the game. Whenever the ball was heading towards their side, they were already looking for the clear. They were already trying to keep that offensive pressure alive. I was kind of expecting a lot more goals more than anything else. I mean, Arsenal had 6 shots recorded. So you kind of expect there to be maybe a 4 score instead of a 2. I don't know, a couple things to work on. I don't think there was really a whole ton of accuracy issues other than the fact that he shot 6 times. I don't know, Lawler, thoughts? Kind of an off game, really, for both teams.
I mean, for Peeps, it was more of a direct approach. At the very beginning, a lot of those challenges, they were denying clears at the midfield. So they'd be preemptively up on the wall, and then they'd hit it back. But rather than trying to control it or going for a teammate for the follow-up, the shot was just put on someone who was waiting in target. So they kind of counted it on their own. Normally, when you see a team trying to move downfield or go for clear, they go and sit somewhere in the midfield to be open for a pass. And for some reason, Continuum wasn't doing that. They were just sitting still in net. So even though the shot was directly back on target, someone was there to save it and just kind of cleared it back out. So a lot of repetitive style there. You see that happen, I could see Peeps starting to move in with a little bit more demos up on offense. So far, they haven't had need to.
Yeah.
Just the early aggression and good challenges coming out. For them, big difference is the follow-up. They have someone there after a challenge is made.
Speaking of demos, Gyro on Astro. Astro does spawn in here. Rapid off of the backboard. Rettles to challenge. Gyro looking for an angle. Shut down by Rapid. Now right down, possibly for Arsenal. Astro comes off the backboard. Nice little clear attempt here as Rettles. Rapid needs to get back to defend his net as Arsenal can't quite get there. Speedy Boy Rapid gets there in time. Astro is covering, but Gyro, beautiful spacing there to pop that one up, and right back on offense is the Peeps. Also a beautiful 50, but Astro with a nice catch with control. Past one. And bumps on Gyro. It's an open net. No, Arsenal did come back. Nobody center. Can't do anything with it. As Rapid comes in here. Gyro just stayed planted and flew over.
Yeah, when he's played it into that corner, like he won the initial challenge, which was good, but the difficulty is when there's nobody there for that pass, he's just throwing away possession, as we saw. Moments like that, you want to hold on to it and force that 50-50. It brings someone out on defense, it expends boost. It works well in your favor because you're still able to put that possession or that 50-50 challenge in front of the other team's net. Makes it dangerous, but showing off what it can do. A challenge at a 50 pops up for Arsenal as he slams it back down.
Rapid all the way across the field. Aeon just got done finishing that, and Astro, it was a rough go for him. He was near post, just couldn't quite do anything with it. And that'll put Peeps on the board as Arsenal finally finds one after his 6-0 shot record last game. Not gonna let you live that down, man.
Hey, man.
I mean, he's putting more shots on net than I am.
It's pressure. No, well, I mean, I would hope so.
That's why he's here. And I
mean, even if you were in game, I'm just saying it's physically impossible for you.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying.
Aeon. Gyro, a great challenge coming out of the corner. Rapid looking for Aeon. No, Arsenal shuts it down. Beautiful read there by Arsenal. And that's something that the Peeps will need to do if they do take this one to the grand finals. They're going to have to start reading those plays quite a bit faster, actually. As Astro pops up here, a shot. No, Arsenal right there. Don't think that was quite on target, but Arsenal was there to send it away and keep play alive here for the Peeps. Rettles past one. Astro patiently waiting, gets the catch on, bodied. Still gets it out, but Arsenal right there, and Aeon to send it away. Rettles realizing a shot coming through. Arsenal is up. Around Rapid, over to Rettles. Gyro coming through from the midfield. Just a little bit too quick for him. Still keeping it alive here. Rettles. Oh, a big miss. Arsenal towards the net, and that will finally drain it.
It's only a matter of time that they put one of these away. Just so much pressure, but the shots could be better. There's a couple that came across that they would have just put them a little bit lower. They would have been able to find it, but you can tell the defense struggling for boosts in that situation, just trying to make saves left and right. Eventually, all of it expended. They can't get out. They put it away. 2 minutes left here in game number 2 in this best of 5, our second semifinal of the night. Right now, you find the Peeps up 1 in the series, trying to make that 2 and put themselves at match point. As for Continuum, trying to bounce back in the series as they find themselves on defense quite a bit as a pass comes out. Shot for Gyro, can't get it. But the follow-up is there from Reynolds, just a little bit wide. Tough angle for him to get. Ball settles in the midfield. Gyro sweeps in. He's going to pre-jump and try to get up for that. Not sure if he was looking for a bump in the corner as well. The pinch from Rapid sends it downfield to Aeon, over to Astro, intercepted by Reynolds. As the pressure still remains for Peeps, and the boost to go along with it.
Arsenal looking for Reynolds here. You mentioned the boost. It was pretty much all boost. Astro electing to go for boost here. Gyro can't make the shot. Demo on the play. Finally, the ball leaves the orange side. It'll be Astro looking for Aeon. Nobody to cut that off. I'm a little bit surprised by that, as the Peeps have been able to pretty much cut off everything. No matter what Continuum try to do as far as a direct pass play goes, it's going to need to be more bullish. Gyro demos Astro, who is sitting in net. Arsenal still in the corner, just kind of hounding at this point. Tries the ground pinch, not going to work. Reynolds right back in. As Rapid tries to clear this out, it'll be Gyro looking for a center. Astro was already on the backboard. Good defense here as Aeon sends it away. Rapid doesn't quite have the boost to really make that happen. Challenged. Reynolds up. Can't do anything with it either. And I think the Peeps have kind of gone a little bit silent. They're just putting pressure on. They're not allowing the ball to head to their side. Kind of a basic offense defense type thing. Reynolds will find the near top corner. Never mind.
It's the way that they're going about applying that pressure. So you said they're not doing anything, I guess you would say, is too flashy or over aggressive. It's just simple, and that's fine. When you're up by 2, the thing that a lot of teams do is they go back and turtle. They try to kill the clock with high lofted clears, and a lot of throwing away possession. What the Peeps are doing is continuing what's worked for them so well, just a little bit safer. They're not overcommitting. They're not sending that third man in for a shot that's a little bit risky. They're just waiting at the midfield. They put a power clear in, and then they just continue that. So the ball never moves past half field. They keep the pressure up, and eventually the other team can't do anything about it because all their boost is being denied. So well done by Peeps, putting themselves 1 away from match point. For Continuum, they just need to step it up.
Long
when you look at it, 4 shots and 4
thing?
saves. I mean, they're just getting beat to the ball. Like, they really haven't had.
Yeah, in general, they are.
They haven't really had a chance to play their game. The subtle times that they do, it just gets put right back down. So ways that you can do that, obviously Peeps want to play fast and very aggressive. You can either A, try to match that and beat them to the ball and make sure the number one thing that there is follow-up to give after that, or slow it down. Force them to come to you. Force them to challenge. Force them to expend that boost, because in the moments that it's there, because you're sitting on the ball, you force a challenge, and by default, your teammates should be able to read that and be closer to it. So,
and we saw Rapid try to do that as much as he could, but he needed some follow-up because he went for a bump. Now, that should have turned into a shot, but it didn't. As we go off a kickoff, this could be an opportunity here. Gyro shuts it down as Astro sets up for Rapid. Arsenal reading the play, sends it away. Let's see if some more ball control comes out here for Continuum. Rapid, of course, so good at that with his one's prowess. And both Aeon and Astro can definitely do that. It's just a matter of actually executing that plan. We'll have to see as the game wears on. This is their last chance to head into the grand finals. Arsenal sends it away. Looks like the Peeps are trying to read Continuum a little bit. We're seeing a lot more pressure from Continuum. As Reynolds realizing that was dangerous. As Astro challenged by Reynolds again. Rapid coming out of the corner. It'll be Arsenal off of the backboard, and Aeon stays planted. A good move by him to read the play and not overcommit on anything at this point. Oh, that's a big miss. Where is everyone? Nobody there to take advantage.
Just a little bit too much respect coming out of these guys, waiting for the play to develop, but it's moments like those when I mean, you mentioned there's nobody there. If they would just follow that through and apply that pressure, it's going to lead to an opportunity in front of net. Instead, it just buys time for the Peeps. It gives them time to recover. They're able to go back on offense as Arsenal pops it up. Gyro's going to meet it there. 50-50 and straight down. Nobody there as Reynolds waits for it. Unfortunately, him forcing it in the mid. Isn't going to accomplish anything. He goes back down the other way for Gyro. Takes one touch, goes over. It should be easy for Arsenal as he gets a pass. Can Gyro turn on it? No. Wow. Rapid comes flying across. This could be a chance for Continuum.
I think Rapid has kind of realized that they need to be a little bit quicker to the ball, but Aeon and Astro have not quite got there yet. Aeon comes out of net, finds Rapid one-on-one. Instead, he kind of throws it towards the net. Gyro is right there. Astro looking for it. Arsenal sends it away. And with Reddles there, the setup for Arsenal will be wide. Just about 3 minutes left here in game 3. Gyro to Arsenal. Aeon reads it well, but that kind of put Astro in a weird spot as Reddles just moving it towards the net again. Rapid takes aim, sends it to corner. Reddles, layover, right in.
Great pass coming across, an even better shot. Rather than playing that in the corner with a waiting Astro who's already on the back wall, he plays it inside and forces Astro off. But that angle, nothing to go quiet about. As he's coming across his body, he plays it down lower left. Well done by the Peeps, up by 1 yet again, putting them one step closer to that grand final. Just a matter of, with this second half of match number 3, Continuum can respond as another shot from Reddles, power on, pushed away by Astro. It catches Rapid off guard. He's facing the wrong way, facing backwards. He's going to have to check to his team as the pressure again from Peeps starting to apply. So you can see it here, these 50-50s getting closer and closer towards the net. Can Rapid get a touch on this? It won't matter as the challenge coming in late still gets a tip of it.
Oh, shot. Never mind. Aeon looking for it. Possible double touch, trying to knock this down. It'll be Astro to challenge, but he's just too far back. Rapid looking for a teammate. Gyro is right there, though. As Aeon wrapped up the wall. Looking for the long clear to be Arsenal keep it alive. Reddles finds the connection. A demo on Rapid. Aeon has to race back. He was all the way on the other side. Arsenal shut down by Astro. And Continuum look like they're scrambling again on offense. Just forced out of position too many times. This Rapid will make a mistake off of the backboard. Now it's a 2-goal lead.
Yeah, credit to Euro on the side wall. The only way that ball can pinch based upon the way that it's forcing is that left corner. So he goes around, gets up top immediately. The benefit of attacking from that higher angle is it pinches harder across net. And after what was roughly 15 to 20 seconds of continued offense, eventually he catches the defense off guard. Again, the Peeps, overwhelming pressure leading to a goal. But a lot of it because they find each other in open space. The pass across stopped in the midfield. But unfortunately, yet again, no follow-up coming from the orange team.
Continuum, again, those follow-up issues like you mentioned. Just not getting the challenges. They're trying. It's almost like they're trying to go too fast when they start to approach the ball. They're just trying to read it a little bit too quickly. Aeon looking for Rapid here. Gyro does come through as third man. Less than a minute to score 2 goals. The Peeps are firing on all cylinders, though. And that midfield control already underway. Here's Gyro's up. Finds his way past Astro, who looks like he pre-jumped that one.
Yeah, pretty play coming out from Gyro. He sees the play developing, doesn't pre-jump it, but still makes a good attempt on it. He's actually a little bit further back, so he waits for the extra tap coming out from his teammate. A little bit of loft draws out a defender, and then they play it across, and then the change of angle ends up working out. 40 seconds left, up by 3. The Peeps showing no signs of slowing down. As G2 sitting in the wing waiting. They're watching this play develop, seeing who they go on to play next in the grand final. So far, it looks like Peeps, and can't really argue with that. With only 25 seconds left and another goal to the name as a pass trying to come across. Rapid is there. They'll be able to secure themselves a guaranteed $500 once this ball counts down to 0.
It really is just too late here for Continuum. They would have to score extremely quickly. And honestly, the Peeps are just on it tonight. Continuum just can't quite put together really too much in the way of plays. They bump into each other there right at the end as Arsenal might get one for the road. I honestly thought that was going to be a whole lot closer, but the Peeps have definitely shown that they are practicing. They are preparing themselves for the next season. I have to admit, I am impressed, though. They're playing so well together. more than anything else.
Yeah, it's to me, it's not just the fact that there's a lot of pressure. It's again how they tie it together. The fact that there is boost control and there is pressure and challenges and everything else. But the follow up that comes after it is probably the most crucial thing. The fact that at the very beginning, in the very start of that series, challenges were made on the side walls, but they're put directly back on target, and nothing came from it. Eventually, they are like, okay, well, what happens if we follow up? Apparently, they're not going to pressure us, so we can apply a little bit more aggression. And what comes from it is just this crazy sustained offense to the fact where after a point, Continuum doesn't have anything to make a save. They're caught flat-footed, and shots like that, paired with some really good infield pass plays or some passes up to each other, makes it an easy win for Peeps, a convincing win for Peeps, but they definitely have their hands full moving into this grand final.
Well, I can tell you this, Reddle's trying to get himself onto the top 5 leaderboard. I believe he has a win. I have to double check that, and we'll double check that here through the break. But of course, guys, it will be G2 versus the Peeps. I'm trying to think back longer if we've seen that before. We're gonna have to look that up, man, because it sounds like that's happened. Maybe with a different roster.
Give me like a quick couple seconds.
Yeah, we'll have to,
EG, Afterthought, Dudes, Spread. Nope. Just EG twice.
Just EG twice. All right.
Yep. Once in WSOE and then once a long time ago in like Rivals.
The one thing that we can say though is that G2 did win the first ever Beyond tournament. I don't even know how long ago that was, but it was a different roster, if I'm not mistaken. That said, they make their return to the finals. You've been watching the Beyond Astronauts here on Twitch.tv. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back into the Astronauts Rocket League 3v3 tournament. Of course, powered by Team Beyond and ASTRO Gaming. If you're just joining us, our grand finals will be G2 Esports versus the Peeps, both of them sweeping in their semifinals. Of course, the Peeps versus Continuum, we just saw that. G2 Esports going up against, well, the team that we lovingly call the DL. I like it. Lawler. Any initial thoughts going into this based off of what you've seen so far?
How brutally honest would you like me to be?
Absolutely, totally, brutally honest.
G2-4-0, GG easy.
Ooh. I mean, kind of to be expected.
Yes. It's definitely an uphill battle for the Peeps, but I just feel they're kind of outclassed here. A lot of things that they're going to be doing are going to be shut down before they even start to develop. The space that was given to them by Continuum will not be there. Expect whether it's Rizzo or Chicago to be in their face and applying a ton of pressure. I think something that we can set as a precursor and something they need to look out for is the fact that Rizzo, when he is up on offense, when he is not finding the immediate shot, will create a challenge or 50-50 or a pass or something, and then immediately look for boost deny and then a demo. It is something that is very frustrating to go against and something that Chicago benefits from greatly. So keep an eye for that. Even before we get into the match, look out for Rizzo, aggression, and demos, because it's something that has not stopped since Chicago has come on that team, and it just looks infuriating to play against.
And I wonder if JNAPS is going to get a little bit more involved. We touched on that a couple of times in their previous series as to, JNAPS kind of hanging back. You had said that you'd only mentioned his name, what, 5-6 times, if that?
It was like a handful of times. It wasn't like
he was there.
I mean, it's pretty common though, right? Like, when you have a player, most common that people think about is like a Torment. You don't hear his name much unless he's moving up onto offense. Otherwise, he's just kind of that silent person. Violent Panda was the same way for a very long time, where they're a support player. They're literally there to just tie things together, put a pretty little bow on it, and make sure that everything goes okay. And JNups did that. He didn't overexert. He didn't do anything crazy, but he did make plays. It's just he wasn't the high flashy scory thing that we know he can be. And that's what makes them so dangerous, is he doesn't have to be in order for the team to work. But if he starts moving forward, like we saw Remco do at E-League, and we saw Torment do at the World Championship, it's a very dangerous team.
And of course, the Peeps, we mentioned they have their work cut out for them. They did look pretty solid going up against Continuum. I don't know if they're quite at the G2 level quite yet.
Come on,
but it'll be a good challenge for him, though.
I said what I said. You can be brutally honest too.
I am actually being brutally honest. I know these guys have the skill. It's there, but they don't.
They're definitely talented. That's why they're in the finals, right?
Well, right. So the question is, can they tie all of the things together to at least challenge G2? And I think the ball speed that G2 has, or at least the speed to the ball that G2 has, compared to the Peeps, it might bite them. So I'm expecting the Peeps to kind of play through a little tentatively at first, and then really start to bring in some passion a little bit later on. We'll have to see as the teams feel themselves out, I think. At least this first game will be extremely telltale.
Yeah, so I'm a huge advocate of talking about how competition breeds excellence. The better teams that you play against, the better it makes you as a team. And I think that's something that's extremely beneficial for the Peeps. Even though I think they're going to get swept, even though I think it's going to be a demolishing, I do believe that the Peeps will get better as this series continues, because they will start to adjust to this faster pace. They will start to adjust to how quickly things happen. And even though it may look like they're getting dominated, which they probably will, I still expect them, as the series goes over, for them to adjust to that and it become closer and closer and closer, depending on if G2 continues to mix it up and keep them guessing. So the best thing that this can happen in this series is they do start to make those adaptations. They do start to adjust and understand that, okay, they're playing at this pace. How do we counteract that? And that's where it really begins as a Rocket League player, is there's so many things going on, and it is extremely reactionary as a game, but you have to take in the information at a very fast pace and then determine what is the best result. And if they don't know how to fix those issues, if you're playing a very fast team, how do I counteract that? If they don't know those answers, which they should, because they are very talented players, it's going to be very difficult. But that's what makes it exciting, is they're going up against a team that is very strong, how do we counteract once we get a taste of it?
That's why I'm thinking that game one will be extremely telltale as we move back onto DFH Stadium. Champions Field a little bit buggy. We've had a couple of issues in the past, so we're going to the tried and true yeah, Champions Field. Yeah, okay. DFH Stadium.
Champions Field has the off-center kickoffs right now, I think. Like the diagonal kicks are on the side, I'm pretty sure.
Correct. So the grand finals just about to get underway. The players extremely rush to get on the pitch.
If I know Rizzo, it's past his bedtime. That's why.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, that's true.
It's definitely not. He was playing like some Park Tycoon game the other night until like 11. So I think he's fine. We're way ahead of schedule. It's going great.
Sometimes you got to relax and Park Tycoon.
Way ahead of schedule. Shout out to, obviously, the guys behind the scene. Obviously, this is the grand finals. Best of 7 now, which is totally different. But before we get into all the juicy stuff, shout out to, obviously, all the sponsors, all the guys behind the scenes working hard to bring this tournament to your guys' faces. Let's get into it. G2, the Peeps, best of 7.
G2 already in the Peeps' faces, as the ball is basically not seen any of the blue side really much at all, as Arsenal's up here challenging with the JNAPs. Nice boost steal. Back pass, beautifully done. Just sends it away. Unfortunately, it just gives up possession. Chicago going for it. It'll be Gyro the pickup. JNAPs is right there reading the play. Oh, it's off of the bar. Reynolds just couldn't get enough on it. And G2 take the first one.
So you can already see the problem. You see Reynolds and Gyro back on that wall. One in net, one on the side. And rather than continuously moving, rather than being in constant movement or carrying momentum through, they're having to go from 0 to 100 from a standstill. And the problem that creates is it makes it way more difficult to get to the ball at a faster pace. It also expends a lot more boost than if they were continuously moving. So for them, trying to get to that top right corner makes it difficult as JNAP's flying across, bumps one, forces him to bump into his own teammate, and gets to boost deny for it all at once. It looks like it's already beginning, but a chance here from Arsenal. Can he play it back down? He does, but no there for follow-up.
Again, the follow-up kind of plaguing this sort of lower-tiered team, if you will. Arsenal looking for Reynolds, but Rizzo's right there, reading the play. JNAPS is up. Gyro right there as Arsenal rotates back. Pass over to Rizzo. Pass back to Chicago. Chicago lets it go. They don't need to rush the play. Bullet shot from the corner. JNAPS showing him in.
Yeah, unfortunately that touch across doesn't end up meeting Chicago. He flips out of it, but ends up working in happenstance. JNAPS up there on the corner, just in there in support. That's that third man, not interjecting until he absolutely has to. And this time a direct shot, bottom left of the net. G2 up by 2, a minute and a half in. As the kickoff again goes for the favor. Chicago trying to follow up with the left of his boost. It's going to be Rizzo who's the beneficiary as he passes that down to JNAPS. Off the backboard, can he play it light? He does, but unfortunately nobody there. As a big clear comes out for Peeps, desperately needed. What can they make of it?
Well, it doesn't look like much because, again, G2 right on the ball. A beautiful 50 by JNAPS. Immediately just moves back. Arsenal playing off of the ceiling, trying to carry this through. Rizzo comes into challenge. Chicago right there. Gyro in the net. Reynolds trying to get some ball control more than anything else. Does kind of seem like the Peeps are on a different page here. Chicago tries to carry this one in. It won't happen. And G2 more than confident with their 2-goal lead. Oh, JNAPS towards the net. Just barely crossing. It'll be Reynolds. Nice defense there by Reynolds. He didn't force the issue, realizing the ball was going to go across, and nobody there to follow up. Gyro right there, just still stopped. G2 has not let the ball go to their side pretty much all the way through this game, and it finally sees the blue side, just barely.
And just like that, it's gone. But you can already start to see it as soon as G2 goes up on offense. Just watch for whoever is that first man in that rotation, the one to initially put it in, what he does. Whether he goes to the corner, he goes for the demo, something is going to be taken. They're utilizing that space that's being given to him and that lack of pressure to make sure that that offense continues on. Good decision making there by Rizzo, though. Delaying the challenge, but Adele comes out and ends up not sneaking in. A good attempt, getting aggressive up on offense, but again, push back the other way to commit.
Double.
Can Chicago get there in time? No. A good touch by Reynolds plays it to the corner as Chicago tries to force it. But Rizzo going for the solo play. That's the big difference, is you see the peeps when they make those passes inside, even if nobody's there, they try to play it across. But with G2, he tries to do it himself by slowing it down. So good decision making there, as we find ourselves back up on offense for G2. But so far, Arsenal definitely starting to adapt. Good pass back over to Gyro as he plays that downfield. Back into the midfield, up to Reddles. Saved by Chicago and pushed out to the side. Now JNaps pitches it into the midfield. Gets the midfield boost. Goes for a bump on Arsenal. Should open up a pass across. Shot on target. JNaps not able to get there.
Gyro sending it towards the center, just trying to get something going on offense. They have not been able to get much of anything. As Reddles lets this one go. JNaps is right there, reads it well, now off the ceiling. Trying to follow this up. Arsenal is there, looking for Reddles. Bounces off Rizzo. Now a slight breakaway here. Gyro has to pop up for this, looking for some help. Arsenal way too far up on the play. Nearly at the crease and couldn't do much with it. The Chicago towards the net. Good Lord.
Something you got to realize quickly. Look at him not go for this immediately. He waits for it to come to him. That is not something you're going to get the leisure of when playing against a team like G2. If you are not going to the ball on first reaction, someone on the other team will. Unfortunately for them, G2 is there first. And not only is he there first, but he puts a shot on target. G2 again, another goal. 25 seconds left here in game number 1.
Chicago moving on down. Gyro. Well done. Gets it past 2. Now he's got to challenge JNaps. JNaps is going to let him go for it, I think. Yeah. Oh, yeah. He just waits for the mess up. No reason to challenge or go crazy with this as Arsenal takes a shot. Gyro on the way back. And as time begins to wind down, we knew the peeps were going to have their work cut out for him. And I mean, 3 shots. That's all they had. That's it. G2 holding them pretty much in their own end, I'd say at least 80% of the time.
Yeah, just like I said, domination from G2. It's just a matter of, can peeps make the adjustments accordingly? As of right now, G2 just kind of having their way with the other team, getting them and beating them to the ball. And that's not necessarily the worst thing for the peeps. One of the ways that I said is learning how to counteract that. G2 is showing that they're going to play fast. So how do you beat that? In most circumstances, you either A, have to match that pace, and in a couple times, the peeps have shown that they're capable of. But the easiest way is actually to slow it down and maintain possession. So when the ball comes to them or when it traps to them, force that challenge. You want to make Chicago, JNaps, Rizzo, whoever is moving up on offense, commit to going for the ball. That draws them out. It forces boost. And then position your other players behind them to make a reaction after that happens. If they can find a way to do that, if they can find a way to maintain some sort of possession, they can give them a chance in this best of 5 as we go into game number 2. G2 convincing win, shutting out the peeps in game number 1.
To kind of expand on your point a little bit, I would kind of expect Reddles to do that with his 1v1 experience. The better question is, can Gyro and Arsenal kind of get in position like you're talking about? Because Gyro moved one towards the net. That's dangerous. Rizzo, not a great touch. Gyro knocks it down. The peeps open it up with the score.
It's a good play from Gyro and a good recovery as well. He plays that down to his teammate. It ends up landing on the backboard, and then rather than rotating out immediately, he makes himself accessible. He gets a good angle, dropped down. A good start for them, only 19 seconds in. See if they can carry on with that momentum as he plays it up. Gets another touch himself. That's 2 in a row now for the peeps, but immediately transitioned the other way. As Reynolds tries to trap it, immediately challenged by Chicago, played up into the corner. Luckily, they're able to secure their own boost.
Beautifully done there by Reynolds. Rizzo was up for that. It'll be JNaps now. That's a bump from Gyro. Rizzo has to follow it up. Chicago had to correct in the air, still towards the net. Doesn't matter for Chicago. He makes it work.
This is something that a lot of players will do. Look how far back Chicago is, and rather than committing to it right away, he's going up higher than he is forward, rather than putting a bunch of force and committing to the play right away. He lofts himself up, and that allows him then and allots him the time to make that correction. The shot and everything else afterwards just looks gorgeous as he puts it away. They're going to sneak one through, maybe a little bit too confident, as peeps go back up by 1, getting one away here.
Reynolds had that ball control like you were talking about, or we were talking about really. Gyro on the follow-up. They did exactly what you had recommended, and it worked out well for them. Granted, kickoff, sure, but they have the lead. And that's all that really matters at this point is JNaps forced to play out of his box, and finally it's cleared away. Chicago gyro with a nice stop. Arsenal wheels it around, moving towards the net. It's high, and JNAP's patiently playing this one through, looking for Chicago. Gets the connection. Arsenal, oh, that's a bit of a fake. Rizzo needs to get there. Oh, barely knocked away.
Had a chance. Looks like Chicago wanted a double touch as well. He let his teammate have it. As JNAP comes across the shot wide. His angle not exactly the best as he plays this slow, trying to force somebody out, and that's what I'm talking about. Slowing it down. Rather than just shooting that on target to where there's a defender waiting, he forces that defender to challenge. And it clears one out as another shot on target, pushed away by Gyro, but already there waiting is Rizzo. Plays it soft, coming across JNAP, sets it up for Chicago. Can Chicago put it down? He does. Nothing but net. Chicago now tying it up 3-12.
And Chicago right here. Rizzo beautifully played, well read. Goes for it anyways, even though he knew JNAPS was right there. And Chicago on the boost return comes right through, finds the top. Beautifully played there by G2. They're starting to really fire on all centers, and you can tell that this is what they wanted to work on here, as Gyro has to block out a shot. Arsenal looking for Rettles. And the Peeps are starting to try a little bit of a European style of play. They're passing between all three players. I like what I'm seeing. They definitely need to work out the kinks a little bit. As JNAPS comes through to send this one away. Rizzo trying to read this one off of the backboard. Arsenal in an awkward spot. Oh, it feels backflip. Gyro right there with a beautiful save.
Great recovery rolling off that back wall. Able to get in front of it. Forcing G2 now on their back end. Doesn't matter. The recovery's there. They play it downfield. Chicago's going to wait for this one. He gets the challenge. Can he sneak it in? And he does. After all that effort from the Peeps. Completely denied with one challenge. And you think if you would have played that to the side, it might have been a different outcome, but it doesn't matter now. They got to find a way to bounce back halfway through match number 2.
Still pretty close here. The Peeps are definitely bringing it in, and I wonder if G2 might have laid off just a little bit. They haven't really been able to make the connections that they have been, but we're starting to see the Peeps realizing that ball control is key. Just keeping possession more than anything else will net them some results, as Rettles does spawn through. Rettles looking for Gyro. It's a bit of a chipper. Arsenal past Rizzo. JNAPS is right there, though. Sends it away. Looking for Chicago. Chicago off of the backboard. Gyro, beautiful pre-jump. Well done. And sent away on the 50. Rettles is there. We set this up here for Arsenal. It's a little bit too much mustard on that hot dog. And we're into the 2-minute. Oh, that's a big miss. That's a big demo, and he can't quite do it. Gyro had the demo, and he couldn't send it away.
Rizzo sacrifices his body on this one. Launches it downfield, denies the boost in the corner, and just follows it through. Fortunately, playing the player instead of the ball, and ends up sneaking in. And again, it's like we've seen from Rizzo before on the left-hand side, just a big clear and then follow-up. Ends up getting another goal for G2 as it hovers in the midfield, met by Gyro first. It's passed across over to Chicago. JNAP's going to be the one to follow up. Comes in aggressively with the follow-up of JNAP's. And the follow-up from Chicago. No, it's over to the side. But the fact that he can get to that and put some pressure on it, kind of intimidating as he's been there. People in chat have been joking about Chicago, wash player Omega Lol, and it's hard to disagree. The player has been everywhere he needs to be on the field as he's been putting in shots left and right. Going to follow up his own touch. No, to Rizzo. What a shot. What a play from G2. Oh, my goodness.
Rizzo had flown through off of the last play. He just decided to hang out on the opposition's backboard. Chicago realizing that he was there. Great communication.
Why is he there?
Sends it. Well,
what are you doing?
He was a part of the other play and just kind of ended up flying all the way across. So he just stayed there. Why cycle back when you can get a pass off to him and make it a 3-goal lead?
Again, as soon as this team was made, as soon as Chicago came over, it was JNAPS and Rizzo. The connection that they had, JNAPS and Chicago, but now you're starting to see the opposite. The player that was stuck on defense now moving up almost in a lot-like fashion on offense. Peeps have a lot to handle. 40 seconds left, down by 3.
They're definitely learning a lot. They've already started to make adjustments, trying to bring it to G2. You can tell they're not allowing themselves to get frustrated, doing what they can. Arsenal, that's gonna careen in. I like it. Beautifully played.
Just a good flick over. That's that one skill coming in. Landing a flick like that, getting enough pop and power to set up his teammate.
And Gyro is there on the other side too, just in case.
Yep. Quick counterattack is what they're looking to do. Obviously, G2 playing aggressive. That has been their difficulties. And if you've watched them in other tournaments like WSOE and DreamHack, sometimes they cheat up a little bit too far because they are so confident on offense. But the follow-up there, back within 20 seconds.
They realized that they were not following up on shots all that well, and they finally just make an adjustment, and when they're so far down, they suddenly come alive as Gyro just pops that one in. Says, thank you, sir, I will do that for you. 20 seconds on the clock. They could potentially tie it up.
Wait, what?
Potentially. Maybe.
No,
Arsenal looking to do just that.
Why did he back off? What?
Unsure. I know there was some defenders coming in from G2, but now time winding down here as Arsenal grabbing the boost. Make sure Rizzo can't get it. Bit of a double commit here. Arsenal moving on down. That's a little too far away, though, and G2 will secure game 2.
And what was a dominant performance started to have Peeps inch on back. Allowed to do those pass plays, catching them off guard. You're playing from one side of the field back into the middle and then far post. Makes it difficult to read, but that's the Peeps. I talked about it. As you play better competition, you get a chance to refine your skills. Kind of chip away at the iron, as these guys have done exactly that. Down by 4, able to bounce back and bring it back within 1, but G2 still gets the victory. Now, this is a best of 7 as compared to a best of 5 like we saw previously in the tourney. So for those that are just joining us, it is 2-0 in favor of G2. They are 2 games away from securing themselves the $1,500 prize pool, $500 per person, while the second place is $500 for all 3 members. Right now, Peeps and G2 have guaranteed at least $500 for themselves. Peeps starting to impress, starting to come back with their pass plays.
Yeah, and they're making adjustments on the fly. We've seen the Peeps do this before. A lot of the RLRS... Oh, Chicago off the crossbar. Can't quite finish it off. Like I was mentioning before, that we've seen the Peeps make adjustments on the fly before, and it's an extremely handy skill to have. We've even seen in the past where some RLCS teams haven't been able to do that. But the Peeps definitely thinking on their feet, and they're going to have to seriously bring it, though. They don't want to go down 3-0 in the series. Gyro looking for Arsenal. Beautiful pass. Arsenal in the pickup just gets a little bit too far ahead of him. As JNAPS on the down play. Reynolds gets involved. It squirts out. Gyro can't move it around. It'll be Arsenal in the pickup. Great positioning from Arsenal. One-on-one with Chicago. Just duking it out there and moves into the offensive corner. JNAP sends it away, and Rizzo right there at the midfield recovers well, but Reynolds reads it perfectly, sends it right back down Main Street, and the ping pong match has begun.
Still Peeps up on offense. You see both players looking for a demo.
Ooh.
Credit to G2 as they're able to pass it out. A demo coming across from Chicago should relieve a little bit of pressure as the players go back into position, trying to make a play. A pass up from Rizzo to his teammate. Can he connect with it? He does get a subtle touch. Unfortunately, doesn't play it across.
Punished.
A little bit too far up. Difficult angle to meet.
Oh, Arsenal was just there. It was a rough angle for him to try to find, but now JNAPS looking for Chicago. Gyro's right there off of the backboard. JNAPS, bullet in!
Plenty of space given on the side, but his leading lady in front of him, Chicago. Just moving upfield, trying to, almost like a linebacker, push people out of the way. Doesn't matter as JNAP plays that far post. Well done.
Actually, a really good analogy there. The forward linebacker here is Gyro off the sideboard. Can't do anything with it. Arsenal looking for someone. No follow-up. Riddles was a little bit too far back. Riddles picks this up. A nice beat on it, so he decided to take it from Gyro. Arsenal right there. Reynolds has to cycle back, and Chicago right there. Rizzo pops it up. Chicago still there. Arsenal popped up first, and JNAPS has to cycle back around to his side. Challenged by Reynolds. That squirts off to the middle. Arsenal needs to recover this. Take on Chicago, and Chicago gets above the ball and sends it away. Now Reynolds right back into the slot. As Arsenal can't do anything with it. JNAPS again there. The G2 wall has not crumbled at all this whole game. Granted, Arsenal's only got 2 shots on the board, but really they just have not let a whole lot of offense happen on their side as JNAPS looking for Chicago. Speedy play, blocked away by Arsenal. Arsenal's coming alive here. I've said his name a million times in the last 20 seconds.
Fortunately, you may be saying his name, but there's no goals coming from it as Chicago cuts it off and intercepts. You see Gyro trying to figure out what to make of it as he's caught flat-footed yet again. A good clear coming out in the midfield. The Peeps finally starting to read this aggression, finally starting to counteract it themselves. As you can tell, trying to be there for every single touch. Another follow-up from Gyro, passed over to JNAP, slowing it down, trying to buy some time. As it pops in the midfield, met by Redos and cleared back. We're now starting to see a transition in pressure as just barely Redos missing that demo. Could have been an open opportunity.
Bit of organized chaos there on the Peeps side as Riddles pops up here and play this off the ceiling. JNaps is right there. Beautiful challenge by JNaps to send it towards the opposite end as Chicago slows down the movement. Gyro towards the net, tries to move it down Main Street, but again, Rizzo right there. G2 exactly where they need to be just about every single time. Demo on Chicago, that could relieve it a little bit. Riddles right at Rizzo and it goes in.
Just trying to see what happened to Rizzo here. He's on the back side. Covers far post. He does. He actually gets bumped by Arsenal out of the way. He's trying to rotate wide and get a good clear. Positioning as well. But unfortunately, the Peeps have other plans. The aggression coming out on offense, both with fast touches as well as bumps and demos. See, Redo's already sweeping through, trying to do it yet again as Gyro is going to meet. I think it was Chicago up in the air. Now they slow it down. This change of pace hopefully allows them to maintain some possession up on defense rather than throwing it into the midfield like they did previously. Starting to make those adaptations as a shot comes across to Arsenal just high.
Oh. Arsenal's got to work on that accuracy. They've had a lot of opportunity here in just this game alone. As Arsenal sends it away. Arsenal's right there. I honestly feel like Arsenal's kind of leading the team, though. He's showing Reddles.
Oh, no.
That's unfortunate. Oh, that's down.
That's going to be a yikes from me, dog. I mean, he's in the right spot, right? Like, okay, technically, okay, so he never should have jumped that in the first place, because even if he does challenge it, it goes pinched towards his own net. But tactical whiff working out for G2. Nailed it.
They might make up for it here. Rizzo did pre-jump that as Arsenal shoots straight for the dead center of the net. Reynolds challenges this out of the corner. Gyro's there. Rizzo gets her just in time to send it away. G2 trying to close out game 3. Oh, big challenge here.
Oh,
Rizzo
no.
gets the touch off the crossbar. Not a great challenge, and it works out well for him.
Rizzo, who are you?
Oh my
what?
God.
That's so stupid. Oh my God, Rizzo. I mean, we joke about putting a body in front of the net, right? Like, just put a body up. It's fine. You'll cause disruption. I don't expect you to dunk a save and then hit a double tap off of it.
Oh, and then,
okay,
JDeps wants to get involved too, so go connect with Chicago, send this one in. Jeez. And I have to agree with you all the way through. I mean, maybe it's just
good pass from JNaps. That was pretty. Plays it off the wall, self-passion, pinches it, doesn't pinch it too hard, perfectly for Chicago who's following up. Well done, boys. G2 looking good, man.
Yeah, they really are. To kind of go back to Rizzo a little bit, it's just dominance things. He's kind of got the car figured out a little bit, using that long hood and sort of flat car to set himself up for dunks like that. And as the game ends, G2 will end this one out 4-1. Yeah, 4-1. And that will put G2 on match point, but the Peeps really bringing it this time.
It's kind of the crazy thing about that match is it was neck and neck, the Peeps, and you can finally start to see it in their shots. Coming alive with 8 here as compared to the other ones that they had 3, I think, in the first game.
Mm-hmm.
The pressure is definitely there. They are starting to aggress more, but it's also leaving them susceptible to counterattacks now as well. They're trying to find a weird balance of it, and it's difficult when you're forced to play out of your natural comfort. In this case, obviously, I think the Peeps do like to play very fast and aggressive. It's just they've been more reserved because of who they're going up against. It's a level of respect, and I totally understand it. But when you're going against a team, you have to do what fits natural most. And for the Peeps, it's usually aggressive play style. It's showing that they're capable of. They just need to be careful on that back end. Because G2's counterattacks are scary, especially when Rizzo's flying through the air and he's dunking you and going for a double. So, close match here, but with that being said, that was the 3rd match, again, for G2 in a row. Now 6-0 since we've seen them on stream. Nothing's slowing them down just yet, and 1 away from match point from taking this grand final in this best of 7. As for the Peeps, they're going to have to go for a reverse sweep. Not an easy feat. But showing signs that they are capable of getting a win. Ball played across the midfield over to Chicago. Ends up trapping it down, but nobody's there. He's able to follow up his own touch after the initial 50-50 as Rizzo plays a soft touch over to Chicago. It's met by Arsenal. Plays that down in the midfield. Unfortunately, nobody there for the pass. It does get to JNaps, who immediately plays that to Chicago, who plays it back into the midfield. Consecutive touches coming out to move it downfield as JNaps with the redirect forces two to make a save. Can Rizzo get the follow-up? No. It's pushed back out, but the pressure is not over. JNaps again going to try to slow down the pace, but it pinches over towards the other side. Good catch.
Oh, wow.
The Peeps on their back heel, but they do just fine. Pitching it down. The pressure's relieved. With two players at 100 boost, this could be an opportunity as JNaps gets demoed out. Now nobody up. The counterattack is there, but Gyro gets back in time. Good effort from the Peeps, able to keep it out of their net.
Gyro being super aggressive on either end.
It's chasing people down for demos, too.
Yeah, and it's a little bit different than we've seen pretty much the whole series. I guess Gyro's just like, you know, we got nothing else to lose. Why not go for it as Arsenal bumps out Rizzo? Could be a potential here. No, Gyro just bumps right to Rizzo, who was sitting on the backboard from the bump previously. Now JNaps popped up here off of Chicago. Arsenal, nice little catch here, but maybe not a good idea to do it right then and there as Gyro sends it away. Life here for the Peeps. JNaps gets a little bit of a touch on it. Rizzo has to creep out to get it cleared away, but two up on offense. Reynolds right there. Reynolds scoring on G2.
Thought it was going to be troublesome with two players in the corner there, but Arsenal knowing to back off. As he's rotating back, there's no point in him committing, so he lets his teammate who's above him already come across. But you can tell what their pressure is doing. The reason why he's out of position there is because they're trying to commit pressure with pressure in bumps and demos and forcing something out of G2. Just a matter, can they maintain it for numerous time? No, it doesn't matter. And within seconds, G2 ties it up yet again.
Yeah, Chicago just kind of coming above the ball on this one. Gyro, hard to read for him. I think he thought that Chicago might just go for the play. Reynolds coming in at sort of the wrong angle. It was just all awkward, especially the way the ball bounced off of the crossbar, and like you said, right in there. Coming up here on halftime, we're tied at 1 again. Where have we seen this before? Gyro going for it. Arsenal can't quite make it happen, so a back pass to Reynolds. Well done. Now Reynolds is out of position and searching for boost. Gyro coming through. There was a demo on the play. Chicago got demoed in the backfield, and I think that might, well, it may not help much as Arsenal pops up here. Both Gyro and Reynolds goes up. Gyro gets the touch. JNaps looking for Chicago. Shot. Reynolds right there. Beautiful patience by Reynolds. He didn't commit to that early at all.
Just crazy how Rizzo, who's back in their third, is able to go all the way across the field and still get to the ball first. As he's retreating backwards, he makes a touch, passes it up to his teammate. The difficulty, though, is it's still in their corner. They haven't been able to get it past midfield as the pass comes across. The team clear coming out and in handy for G2. Chicago's secondary touch pops it back up, easily met by Reynolds over to Gyro, but intercepted by Rizzo. Can he get another touch? No, but it draws Arsenal out. A shot on target, saved by the falling Arsenal, but now a chance for a counterattack.
Arsenal's
shot from
up.
Arsenal just missed.
Man, that was close. Rizzo right back at him, looking for Chicago. Gyro shuts it down. I think the Peeps have realized that basically anytime G2 has the ball, they're looking for a pass, especially on the offensive end, as Reynolds sends this one up for Arsenal. Rizzo right there. That's high. Chicago in net. Reynolds right there. Drains one. Takes the lead.
Comes across just so fast. You see Chicago. He's in a position just hoping that Rizzo gets a touch on that initial challenge. Unfortunately, he doesn't. He's just having to sit in net and wait for that to develop. Fortunately for him, he's not able to get a touch on it. Peeps go back up by 1. 1:25 left as the aggression coming out for Peeps. Pass across, stopped by JNaps, trying to slow it down as he knows there's a lot of players in the way.
Like a bit of confusion there for the Peeps as well. They reorganize themselves. Actually have a lead here. There's a chance. Chicago looking for the double. Oh, Rizzo can't quite find the angle. Here's Gyro comes out of the corner. Rizzo trying to get a little bit of control. Tries to send it down for JNaps. JNaps is there anyways. Demo on the play. Rizzo on Gyro. Arsenal finally finds one. A 2-goal lead.
Just a little bit of confusion on the defense. JNaps has the right idea. He's trying to play that up wall with a self-pass when he traps that. But unfortunately, hits a part where it bounces back out to the midfield. It makes it easy for Arsenal, who's already moving forward. Kind of a little bit of a circumstance that doesn't go in their favor, but a lot of credit due to how fast the Peeps are starting to play now. 45 seconds left. It's up to G2 to see if they can adapt. He said that they've been going for just about a pass on every single play.
Oh, what?
As a mistake on defense, it sneaks past. Not sure if Rizzo had too little a boost here. Gonna take a look. Yeah, only 24 boost on the back end. Andy's cheated up a little bit too far. Might have been able to save it, but he catches him off guard, cheating up.
Yeah, you know, they're not perfect. I mean, they are human. That's the one thing that the Peeps have going for them, is that G2 are not robots. They are human, and they do make some mistakes here. Gyro beautifully read on the defense. Really does seem like the Peeps have come to their own, though. They have been creating all the opportunities that they have taken, and that's the thing. They've taken them. Big, huge change from previous games here as Reynolds looks for Gyro. Can't quite pop up just in time. Chicago looking for JNaps. It's going to roll out to the corner. And as the 10-second timer runs out, Arsenal getting a bit of a carry. This will, oh yeah, he'll finish that one off. That 4-goal lead.
It's a cute little trap going for the turtle on it. Ends up working out. And a little bit of flair as they're up by 4 now. But it's kind of the big thing when it comes to Rocket League is usually the first 2-3 games go in one's favor, and then the other team that's usually considered the lesser team really comes alive. They start to get used to these changes. They start to figure out how to play against it as they become more comfortable with it. And now that G2 hasn't really been forced to having to make any changes, they're now going to have to kind of wise up and say, okay, these guys are playing really fast. Now we need to mix it up. These passes just aren't working like they used to. Time to slow it down. Time to go for some individual plays to open up some opportunities. We saw what Rizzo was able to do with it earlier. Same with Chicago. Curious to see if they break it out here.
But I'm wondering if slowing it down and trying to get that ball control like you're talking about might kind of bite them a little bit, because that's where Reynolds and Gyro more also kind of on that angle really thrive. I mean, we'll have to see. Going up against some seriously experienced players, Reynolds more or less a 1v1 specialist. I think a lot of people would consider him that way.
It's not the concept of the game itself that they don't thrive in it. It's the fact that for the past 4 games they've been playing very, very fast, very aggressive, very everything. And now all of a sudden that's different, right? Ooh. You're conditioning a player to do something, as it doesn't matter. All it takes is one mistake. You see him come across here, that third man trying to move up.
Rizzo got a little cocky on that one, just a touch. Maybe he thought he had to read on it, and it was just a little bit too quick. Maybe he wasn't expecting that touch. And already the Peeps grabbing the early lead. Still super early in this one, though. G2 can easily come back from this. As JNaps off of the backboard. Chicago right there. Pop down off the corner, and it knocks away. That's a sigh of relief, I think, for the Peeps.
A shot that looked like it was almost guaranteed to go in. Going off the woodwork for both teams now.
Pop up for Reynolds. Sorry to interrupt you there. I thought that might be something. Reynolds usually pretty good on those kinds of pass plays. Yeah, there we go. I was waiting for Reynolds to just get on the boost, but he kind of never did. It was almost like a fake. Double commit, though. Reynolds out of position for that type of play as Chicago takes on Arsenal. Arsenal has a chance. You know, he decides to back off. It's kind of shadow here. Reynolds not a great touch there, a great play. There's a couple of mistakes here and there on both sides. Rizzo pops up for this. Challenges Arsenal, still moving on down. Chicago takes control. Leaves it for JNaps. JNaps, challenged by Reynolds, gets past one. Can't get past Gyro. And around the corner we go. Nice long clear. I think they really needed that. That's going to slow down the Peeps a little bit, as the pass connection for the Peeps not quite there comparatively. But as Arsenal might be able to take this from the wall. No, he just got just a little bit too far around it.
Pass from Rizzo. Can the follow-up go there for the double touch? No, it sneaks on by. Rizzo pops this up high. He's going to go for it himself. Can he get underneath? No, the challenge immediately by Reynolds. Blade to the corner. Chicago pinches that back across. Rizzo's there to meet it. Doesn't matter. Gyro delaying that challenge just a little bit, able to follow this one through. He's going to bring it all the way downfield to Arsenal, but unfortunately can't get above it. Luckily, his teammates there to put the pressure back on target and get the boost for it. These guys back and forth. It just seems to be that a lot of this game now being dictated by the peeps.
Ooh. Dangerous coming in to the key. It will be Chicago with the clear, though. We're coming up here on halftime, and G2 have not really been able to get their crazy offense going as Reynolds will slam one home.
Just a big problem here. You can see the possession just being thrown away from that defense. Something that these guys should be well aware of, that even though nobody is challenging you, they're all backed off. You got to bring that forward with a dribble and force one of those guys who just denied your boost to expend it, kind of neutralize the situation. Instead, they give it away to a waiting Arsenal. They get scored on again, but with 2:30 left, still plenty of time for G2, who is on match point in this best of 7. Trying to close out the series as peeps have been looking strong, bouncing back as a shot. Light for Chicago. Nobody going to turn on it until it's too late. Played the other way. The peeps now back on offense. There's a shot or a pass coming across. And the follow-up there to meet. G2, though, doing a relatively well job of holding off, but need to be careful as one lofted here. Can Gyro get to it? He doesn't even need to. Wow. The peeps up by 3. G2 falling apart.
Reynolds coming from the offensive end. Just realizing the ball's coming right at him. Might as well take a shot just to see what happens. A bit of a chipper, but it's enough to get there. Chicago had the right idea of trying to get back. Just couldn't do it in time. And now the peeps have themselves a 3-goal lead coming into the closing stages of Game 5. Honestly, Lawler, I kind of thought that this would be a little bit more of a stomp. I hate to say that.
I mean, I pre-cursed it, man. I thought it was going to be a stomp as well.
Oh, Rizzo!
In defense, the peeps have done a great job of adapting to it. Like, now that they're able to just kind of play in a more instinctive style of Rocket League, they don't have to overthink anything. It's just get to the ball fast, hit it towards us, maintain possession. They've been really coming alive, but G2 still has some bite left in them. So a long way to go in this reverse sweep. Peeps still needing to win 3 more in a row. They're up by 2 with 30 seconds more until we hit that 1-minute mark. J-Nap's up on the clock. He tries to play it across, carried himself. He does get 2 defenders for it. He's doing a good job of back in the box. This one bounces off Arsenal again there to meet it as Rizzo tries to go for a demo. The ones I told you to look out for. As he's still chasing him down, expending a lot for it. Just again, peeps hold on. 30 seconds almost wasted for nothing.
Kind of wanting Rizzo again, trying to play that little bit of a mind game. But you're gonna have to get out of the way, keep moving, just set him off kilter just a little bit. Try to set it up for a shot as Arsenal beautifully played there. Rizzo sends it out of his corner. Chicago, no, stopped by Reynolds. J-Nap's beautiful touch. It sends it to the corner, and Arsenal right back at it, but Rizzo is right there. Able to send it away. They're gonna have to score now. Rizzo trying to do just that. Reynolds pops up, sends it away, and you can see that the peeps are trying to send it away, and Rizzo on a hunting spree. J-Naps. You know, Chicago was kind of sitting there on the line. It was a little bit awkward. I thought maybe just kind of getting in the way of the goalie, maybe, but the goalie completely unfazed by that as Chicago looking for it. Rizzo off the corner. J-Naps. Oh, it just couldn't get the touch. G2 going to go down 4-1. It looks like Lawler, and it's almost like G2's kind of falling apart, or they're relaxed too much. One or the other.
I mean, it's not even that. I mean, credit has to go to the peeps. They're playing well. They start with early aggression. They apply all this pressure. And because G2 is down by as much as they have, they're susceptible to counterattacks and everything else. You see another one there. They're applying all this offense. They're trying to find something in the back of the net. And all it takes is one mistake because they have committed so much. It makes it easy for the peeps to go the other way. They're playing passive. They're sitting back and waiting for it to develop. And now the peeps are the ones keeping G2 guessing.
So G2 need to take control of this, at least in my opinion. Maybe close this one out. Don't let it go to Game 7, I think would be good for them. I mean, the peeps have a lot of momentum here, but we've seen G2 just completely knock down said momentum in the past, and the Peeps are kind of changing as the game progresses. They're sort of changing style in the way that they're approaching the ball. They seem to be firing on all cylinders, so this is a definite test for them. G2, at least in my opinion, I think they're honestly just a little bit too relaxed right now, and maybe need to step it up just a touch as JNAPS comes out of the net. We'll block that one away from Arsenal. Granted, that's my opinion on it, but I mean, what do I know? I don't commentate on LCS.
Hey, no throwing that as an excuse, man. Right? You're watching this just as much as I am, right?
Yeah, fair enough.
Either way, 30 seconds gone past. A shot from Chicago saved by Reynolds. Follow up there from JNAPS. He plays it soft and across to Rizzo. Unfortunately, Met immediately and pinched down the other way. This can be dangerous from Chicago, but he does get behind it. It pinches off into the midfield. Reynolds there to beat to it as Rizzo plays it up to himself. What's he going to do with it? He tries to get it across, but Gyro already up as well. And a counterattack opportunity as Reynolds plays it past one. Can he get it past the last? JNAPS at a 1v2. He handles it well and plays it in the corner. There'll be plenty of time for him as it allows Rizzo and Chicago to follow in boot.
Reynolds trying to move it out of the corner. Nobody there to help him out, though. Chicago was there anyway, so I guess it was a smart play as Arsenal sends it towards the corner again. JNAPS hovering. Gyro, that's a pinch. It'll send it off the backboard into the midfield as Arsenal right back in, looking for Gyro on the knockdown. Not going to happen. Reynolds on the backup. High shot. Rizzo's right there. Gets the block. And JNAPS sends it to the corner. Still a lot of pressure from the Peeps. I take that back. They all back off. And we move on to the Peeps side as Rizzo with the carry. Gyro popped up. Chicago right there. So dangerous in that position. Reynolds able to send it away.
Reynolds with a very, very risky play. He's in that near post, just holding on to Rizzo, trying to make it so he can't fire. If that shot goes anywhere but near post, they have a goal. Unfortunately, his teammate shoots it right at him. He ends up making a save. The attempt is there. Obviously, G2 happy that they're able to bring it back down the other way. As Rizzo going to go for a boost tonight and a demo at the same time. He ends up getting both boosts for his troubles. Unfortunately, they counterattack because of it. The aggressive play from Rizzo leaving them susceptible on defense. And again, the Peeps up by one.
And Chicago wrapped around right at the mid boost and thought about challenging that, but then Gyro got that nice flick to move it on to the net. And it was just a little bit of a mistake. Obviously, JNAPS a little bit out of position, just couldn't do anything with it. As Gyro keeping this offensive pressure alive. They have to back off here, though, as JNAPS looks for Chicago. Arsenal whips it around and was able to get the touch on it. And Gyro, JNAPS shadowing. Rizzo stops the play. Arsenal right there to pick up. G2 in position. Chicago runs up for the block out, but luckily Rizzo and JNAPS are right there. JNAPS to move up. JNAPS getting a lot more involved in this series. Rizzo just pop up here. Yeah, he's able to get that one towards the net. JNAPS is up, looking for a pass, possibly a drop down, but Rizzo comes through. Already in the air, just sends it towards the net, and G2 able to keep the offensive pressure alive. A back pass, looking for Gyro, looking for Reynolds, and they send it on down, but they kind of lose control at that point.
Seems to be that G2 can't find a flow in their play. Anytime you start to see a play develop, if it doesn't come through initially, when they do make it, it looks great. But for the most part, Peeps have been making saves on those plays, and then they just kind of fall apart. Chicago, primarily the one that's looking out of place, but they find it here, tying it back up. 2 minutes left. You can't talk about it enough. G2 has been on match point now for two parts of this game. Just haven't been able to close it out. You think, can they do it here, or can the Peeps bring us to a game 6 or game 7? Can they go the distance as a bump comes out, saved? Another save, crucial from Rizzo. And he's there for another to clear it out, but Reynolds even better position as Rizzo chases him down. The demo finally working in his favor. A shot from Chicago off the backboard, the follow from Rizzo, and a save from Arsenal played aside.
Well done by Arsenal to read the play and realizing that he was right where he needed to be to make that one happen. Less than a minute and a half. We're still tied at 1, everyone. It's Gyro coming up for the shot. Chicago gets there in time. Sends it towards the corner. Now we're right back on to the Peeps side. Rizzo in the air. Reynolds, not a great touch, but he does cover JNAPS. As Gyro pops up here, sends it to the corner, looking for Reynolds. JNAPS covers it well. Chicago right there. It gets popped up because Arsenal interfered with the play. As Rizzo wraps it around the corner. Trying to get something going here. Gyro, that's so dangerous, but he makes it work. JNAPS right back to center. It's just a little bit too hard. and Chicago can't play off of it. Finally, we've come back to the midfield. Arsenal challenges Chicago. JNaps is already up on the play. Reynolds has to play this one away because Gyro had to spawn in. Now Gyro right past him, down the line, and G2 really starting to pressure hard, but now Gyro has a chance. Reynolds up, not a great touch. Nothing there because Arsenal also got demoed. It's demos galore here in Game 6.
Demos galore and a triple commit coming out from G2. Luckily for them, they're able to recover and play it the other way. Rizzo taps it down softly. Should have the ability to follow up as it smacks JNaps in the face. Ends up setting up for him as he goes for an air dribble. Has Chicago to his left, but decides to take it himself. Chicago's going to be up there. 9 seconds remaining. JNaps making a touch. Can he make a play? A pass over to his teammate? No, it's stopped by Arsenal. Played the other way. This could be the difference maker. Can they bring it to Game 7 as it's played all the way? No, it's going to drop, and we go to overtime. Game 6. G2 takes this golden goal. They win the tournament. As for Peeps, they need it to stay alive and bring us to a Game 7.
Arsenal moving on down the line. Rizzo challenge as well. Gyro already there, trying to play this one, but Rizzo plays it off the wall. Nice little pinch here. Reynolds has to scramble back off of the corner. JNaps, he just couldn't get the touch. He thought he had some backup at Chicago, but there was a demo on the play. Now JNaps steals the boost, looking for some help here. Chicago kind of coming in. Bit of an awkward bounce, but Chicago's right there towards the net. Reynolds, very patient on the goal line, sends it away. Rizzo steals the boost. It'll be Reynolds out of the corner. Looking for it. Chicago sends it right down Main Street. That could be a snipe, but Arsenal pops up well. Sets up for Reynolds. Reynolds and Arsenal a little bit all over each other. Reynolds luckily was there. Stops the play from happening, and Rizzo just on it, the chip up. Off of the window, it looks like, of someone's car. Chicago looking for... I think that was Rizzo. Yeah, Rizzo can't do much with it. Gyro just sends it away. Looking to get scrambled up here as the Peeps make an offensive push. JNaps and Chicago double committed in the corner. Rizzo comes out of net to make that save happen. Reynolds still there on the backboard. Gyro, a little bit awkward here. Knows Arsenal's behind him. He just slows it down. Doesn't allow JNaps full possession on this. And sends it away. Does Arsenal. Right back in, though. G2 putting on the pressure. They're just not letting that ball get anywhere near their net as Chicago pops it backwards. Now JNaps. I thought that might be a shot, but Arsenal came up with a nice challenge. Now Chicago towards the net, and that's in. They take the tournament.
I thought they were going to be okay. Arsenal was able to win 2 50-50s in a row to deny the pressure from G2. But then sweeping through as their third player, they sustain that offense yet again, and all it takes is one shot. Chicago upside down, plays it far post past the defensive Peeps. And what I thought could have been possible, a potential reverse sweep. G2 holds on and ends it in 6.
The Peeps brought it. They had nothing to lose. Honestly, I feel like once the Peeps realize that they can just play their game, they start to really come on form. And we saw evidence of that this series. Took 2 off of G2. They have to be proud of that, but there's a lot of replay review in the Peeps' future for sure. Definitely some issues that need to be worked on, or maybe not necessarily issues, but things to improve on for sure. But a great series all around. I can't ask for a better final.
This doesn't excite people for the RLRS and what's to come. I don't know what does. The fact that we're starting to see these teams compete against some of the best. For me, I'm a little bit more worried about G2. In a series that they were so convincing and only 1 game away, they allow the Peeps to claw their way back and don't close it out. Time and time again. And it seems like despite the roster change and despite the changes that they're making, they're still plagued by some of the same issues. But luckily here, they are able to close it out eventually in 6 and secure themselves first place and $1,500 along with it.
And not a bad form there from G2. I think this one was probably more of an experimental thing. They do seem to be a lot on form, but once game 4 hit, I don't want to say they fell apart. I think the Peeps kind of surprised them more than anything else, and G2 couldn't react and make their changes in time. And I think might need your opinion on this, Lawler, but most of the time, a lot of RLCS teams can make those quick changes mid-game and just adjust. And G2 couldn't quite do that this time around. And I think that's why the Peeps got them in game 4 and game 5 personally. Tell me I'm wrong.
No, I mean, Peeps, you got to give credit to them. Obviously, G2 played really, really well. And even though it was a quick start from G2, a dominant start from G2, right? able to pretty much put away whatever they felt like. The peeps finally start to adapt to that and show why they are where they are, right?
Sure.
So you have to give credit to both teams.
Well, the peeps definitely representing RLRS nicely. Guys, I hope you enjoyed that. Of course, we have a ton of upcoming tournaments in March. Stay tuned for that, though. Check out the Twitter at Team Beyond Net for more details there. Obviously, keep an eye there. We will have a lot more tournaments in the near future. Of course, check out the Twitter. There is a giveaway, an Astro A40 with a mix amp, a mod kit for those A40s, a Lightspeed wireless gaming mouse from Logitech. That's the G703 model, of course. The Logitech Pro Mechanical Gaming Keyboard, and the PowerPlay wireless charging system coming up in March for the Astro giveaway. And of course, any other news, features, things that Team Beyond is up to, go ahead and follow them on Twitter at Team Beyond Net. Lawler, where can we find you, man?
The internet.
Ooh.
It's right there. Lower third. Check it out. Boom, graphics, right? That's why they make them.
Yeah, right there. Yeah.
I don't need to sell it. The channel does it for me.
use the eyes is what they're saying. And of course, that's Lawler. Thanks for joining us again, man. I really appreciate it.
It's always a pleasure, dude. Thanks for having me yet again. Obviously, big shout outs to everybody else involved. Not only the people that are behind the scenes, production and Astro and Team Beyond and all that kind of stuff, but also the players. Obviously, there's a lot that goes into competing for a long period of time over the course of a night. You're dedicating a night to us, and I appreciate that. So shout out to all the players involved and everybody in chat. Obviously, there's up to about 9,000 of you at one point, and we appreciate you guys being here and watching, no matter how memey chat can be. It's always good to have an audience, so appreciate you guys and everybody else involved.
I also want to thank everyone at Team Beyond and the chat for sticking around. Beautiful tournament tonight. Well done, everyone. This is Ninja Rider for Lawler and everyone at Team Beyond. We'll sign off for the evening. We'll see you guys in March.